Hey, hello students. What's up? I hope you must be fit and fine and taking the benefit of this free time for your studies. So, you must be busy with your studies and I hope you are enjoying all my videos on these lessons. So, today we are going to start our first lesson of history, which is one of the most important lesson in your syllabus. So, and this lesson or this topic has been discussed and studied a lot in the world because this revolution gave very important three pearls to the world. That is, please keep these three words in your mind always because these three words is like a pearl which emerged from this revolution. So, first is liberty, second is equality, and third is fraternity. Fraternity, that is brotherhood. So, this is all about the French Revolution. So, here we are going to start this lesson. I hope you will enjoy this lesson and will keep the track with the study and will try to understand with your full potential. So, let's begin. First of all, before starting this lesson, there must be few questions in your mind. When we will move forward, you always keep these questions in your mind so that you will understand the lesson better. First question is, what is French Revolution? When it took place? And what was the incentive and reason behind it? Why it happened? What was the reason behind it? That we will see in the lesson. By whom was it led? Who were the heroes in this? Then was there any bloodshed for this revolution? Then what was the demand of the revolutionaries? Why they made this revolution and killed many people? What message was given by the revolution to the world? So all these questions keep in your mind. Ask this question to yourself first and first check out how much knowledge do you have about this revolution. And once you come to know that how much percentage of knowledge you have about this revolution, then you will understand this lesson better. So let's begin the lesson. Yes, so in this lesson, we will see this series of events. See, in this series of events, I have not shown you the background of the revolution. Here, I have shown only the events which are very important in the French Revolution. So first, after the background of the revolution, we will see tennis court oath. What is this? We are going to study each and every byte separately and in detail. So don't worry about it. Don't make haste. I will explain every topic of this series. Second, constitutional monarchy. What is this? We will see it afterwards. How the monarchy was replaced by constitutional monarchy. So this was the second step. Third step, this constitutional monarchy was replaced by a republic. And after this republic, the fourth step came in France, that was the reign of terror, when the Maximilian Robespierre came into the rule. Then, after Maximilian Robespierre, that is a reign of terror, the fifth step come in French history, that is a rule of directory. And after rule of directory, how Napoleon rose and he took all the power in his hands. So after reading this revolution, sometimes I feel this revolution was like circle. Where it began, it at the end it came there only. Means the people of France, French people, they wanted to get rid of monarchy, but finally in the form of Napoleon, again they came back to that form only. Definitely the form was somewhat different, but still they came to that point only. So this is a series of events, and here we are going to start our first part of the lesson. In our first part of the lesson, we are going to discuss about the reasons behind French Revolution. What were the reasons behind it? That we will see first. Basically, these are five reasons behind the revolution. But so definitely we are going to discuss each and every topic here from here. So you can, for your record, for your understanding, you can see these 5 steps. These were 5 reasons why the French Revolution took place. But before, uh, not only these 5, what was the latest condition, and what we can say the apex point when the French Revolution took place, that we will see first. Yes, so the latest reason behind the revolution, that we'll see first. As you know very well, in 1774, Louis XVI, who was from Bourbon dynasty, he came and who ascended the throne of France. He was 20 years old and he got married with Austrian Princess Marie Antoinette. Please keep these dates and names in your mind. When he became the king, he found that the treasure was empty. Why was the treasure empty? Because uh, France France had helped American colonies, which were 13 colonies, to fight their war against Britain. As you know very well, the enemy of the enemy is a friend. According to this law, as there was conflict between Britishers and French people, and there was war going on between Americans and Britishers, so the French people helped Americans. So when Louis XVI came to the power, he became the king. He found that his treasure was empty. That was the first reason. Second reason, and definitely already France was suffering from the debt. They already had uh, 2 billion livres debt, and in addition to that, because of this help, they again added 1 livre billion in their debt. The livre, as you know, it is the French currency, and definitely when this debt was increasing, the people, those who had given the loan, they increased their rate of interest by 10. They were taking the rate of interest by 10. That's why the government, state government, they were forced to increase they increased the taxes. But the question is, who will pay the taxes? So here comes our first point of conflict, that is unequal structure of French society, unjust social structure. So first we will try to understand how the society was divided into different levels. My dear students, as you know, in our India also earlier, our society was divided into 4 varnas. The first varna was Brahmin, second was Kshatriya, third was Vaishya, and fourth was Shudra. Brahmins, they used to teach and they were having religious authority. Then Kshatriya, they used to defend and protect our country. Vaishya, they used to do the farming and business. And fourth Varna, that was Shudras, they used to provide all the basic facilities to the society. So this was the division. Same like that, not four they had, but French people, they had 3 estate, as we call Varna, they call it estate. In the first estate, they were it consisted of the Roman Catholic clergy, as our saints were there, rishis were there, Brahmins were there. Same like that, in France also, the first estate consisted of the Roman Catholic clergy, who were popes and their saints. In second estate, it consisted of the nobles, about 2% of the population, and they owned 20% of the land. And in third estate, they included bourgeois who were wealthy merchants and skilled workers, city workers, they were poorly paid, and servants like cooks. Then peasants, 80% of the population were farmers. So we were talking about the taxes. So who will give the tax? Who will pay the tax? So the problem, so the conflict, point of conflict was here. Only this third estate will pay the tax. Though they were having less property, they were poor people, but they had to pay the taxes. So that was the first point of conflict behind French Revolution. Now let's see second reason behind it. Unfair economic structure, which is related to our earlier slide. Abuses of the old regime. Disproportionate amount of the land, wealth, rights and privileges are with the first two estates, first estate and second estate. They were getting the privileges by birth, means whether do you deserve it, that will not be seen. Only you are born in this first or second estate, you will get the facility and the privileges. So uh, this was the second reason uh, of conflict, and the taxes were paid by this third estate only. So there were many taxes, but for your in our syllabus we will discuss about only these two. So that is tithe and tele. First of all, let me make it very clear to you. French language is one of the most difficult language of the world in terms of pronunciation. Very difficult pronunciations they have. So I'm not expert of French language. So I pronounce it like tele or tell, and this is tithe, T-I-T-H-E. So these were two taxes. Please keep these two words in your mind, tell and tithe. So tell, this was tax given by the peasants to the king. It was given to the state. It was a land tax. How the land tax? It was believed that land is owned by the king, who is considered to be God, and all land is belonged by the king. So the king has given this land to the peasants to cultivate, but it will be on rent, and these farmers they have to give this rent to the king in terms of tell. So this is about land tax. Second kind of tax was tithe. So tithe, this word come from tenth part of the income you have to give to the church, that is clergy. So from 10th you will understand this is a tithe. Tithe means 10th part of your income you have to pay to the clergy. The question arises here, why only third estate will pay the tax? Why not others? And that was the bone of contention. So this was the second reason. Now let's move towards third reason. Yes, subsistence crisis. Subsistence, this word, I hope you might be knowing the meaning of this word. Subsistence means such a condition where it is very difficult to live because of all these conditions which you are going to study here. So this was subsistence crisis. Why it came? First that we will discuss. See, uh, French population was increasing, but the production of agricultural production was not keeping pace with this population. So people were not getting food, and in addition to that, bad harvest was there in during these years. So two reasons behind this subsistence crisis. First is bad harvest, and second is population growth in population. So what happened because of this? There was scarcity of grains. People were not getting grain, and as you know, the fundamental uh, principle of economy, when the commodity or the product is less, then its price increases. So as the food was less and people were not getting it, its prices were rising. And that's why the poor were no longer able to buy bread. As a result, they were growing weaker bodies, and food, there were riots for the food. And next to that, increased number of death. And in addition to that, there was disease and epidemics. So in this way, clergy and nobility, they were enjoying their privileges, enjoying all kinds of luxuries and facilities. On other hand, common people, they were dying because of hunger. So this was third bone of contention. Fourth reason, which is the most important reason, that is emergence of middle class. What is middle class? First we will see here. The 18th century witnessed the emergence of social groups, termed the middle class, who earned their wealth through an expanding overseas trade and from manufacture of goods that were either exported or bought by the richer member of society. See, during this century, these tradesmen and merchants, they were going to other countries overseas. They were earning money as well as they were getting knowledge from other countries. And as you know, American Revolution took place before French Revolution. So the people also getting the ideals, or we can say the thoughts from American Revolution. So with this voyage and journey, not only they were getting money, but they were also getting the ideas. So they were becoming richer and richer, as well as they were also enlightening themselves. So all our philosophers, which is going to be our fifth reason behind the French Revolution, they came from this middle class only. Who were these middle class people? They were merchants, manufacturers, lawyers, and officers, or philosophers and teachers also. They fall into this category. So, these middle class people, they gave the spark to this revolution. Their thought gave the spark to this flame. So, let's see our fifth reason. Yes, you can see the pictures. These are three philosophers which are what we can say undividable part of French Revolution. First is John Locke, second is Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and third is Montesquieu. In 17th and 18th century, it was the age of enlightenment. Various philosophers put forward their theories for the state to be based on equality and freedom. So see, first of all, you will understand it very better. Uh, Whichever ideas they gave, it was sequential. Chronologically, it came into existence. How? Let's see. First, John Locke. He wrote one book, Two Treatises of the Government, in which he did two things. First of all, he refuted the doctrine of the divine, means the clergy he is inherited from the god. He is what we can say fragment of god, so he is special. This doctrine of the divine was rejected by John Locke. And second, he also rejected the absolute right of the monarch will not be holding absolute right. Then question arises, okay, monarch will not hold the uh, absolute authority, then who will hold? So the answer is given in Social Contract by Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Rousseau proposed a form of government. Who will replace this monarchy? Government will replace. Which kind of government? Where the government or the authority or the power will be shared by the people and their representative. In this way, there will be a social contract between the people and their representative. Then, how this structure will be there, how this government will work. So, as an answer to this, in the spirit of the laws, Montesquieu says that the division of power will be divided into three organs of the government, which we study nowadays. That is legislature, executive, and judiciary. So all these ideas which were given by these three philosophers, it was discussed a lot among the people, because before this time nobody dared to speak against the king, or though you want to take out this system, but you have to replace it by something else. So these three philosophers, they were giving something different to the people, which can replace the monarchy. So all these ideas were being discussed throughout the France, and it revolutionized the people. So that was our fifth reason. So I hope till here you might have understood. So till here, these are our technical terms: livre, which is unit of currency in France; clergy, tithe, tel, and subsistence crisis. I have explained all these technical terms, but still, uh, for your record, you can take the screenshot of this. So here we finish our first part of the lesson. I hope you might have understood. So let's take a quick revision of this. In this part, we have studied in totality 6 reasons, in which first we have seen the unfair social structure, then second, unfair economic system, third, emergence of middle class, fourth, philosophers who revolutionized the France, and fifth, you search out and tell me. So here we finish our first part. I'm sure you definitely have understood this, but still, if you have any question, you are free to ask in comment box. You can write your question and you can send me. So thank you so much. Have a nice day.